Hello everyone. We're still in the series of microservices made easy, and today we will build Hello World microservice. So I've been thinking, how can I make microservices easier to explain? And I found that the best way to learn microservices is by building microservices ourselves step by step and seeing them in action. This actually will make our life a lot easier and it will explain things a lot easier. So let's go into this journey and build a microservice from the beginning. So the simplest microservice is about API gateway. API gateway is like the interface to the microservice. So you have this API gateway, it will receive the response, get response, for example, one of the CRUD. And I'll talk about this later. I don't want to make it more confusing, but it receives a request. For example, when you go to a website, it's a GET request that asks for information. When you receive this API, it actually routes to a function, some code that will do an action. This action, most of the time, is trying to get data or update data, manipulate some data, so it interacts with a database. So this is a simplest complete microservice. Of course, you can have only one Lambda, API gateway and Lambda, as we will build today. But also when you integrate with database, this is the complete microservice that you hear about. And in addition to those, you'll be the cache that will be part of the database in this case. So let's now start and build an API gateway. So let's go to the console, write API, and then go to API gateway. And then we click create API. I have the old one that I just created, so let me delete it first. And then this is the screen that you will get if you never built before. Four types, and we will select the one which is the public REST API, which is the third option. Click on build, and now you can start creating the REST API after you click OK on this one. First thing, we need to create new API. I'll create one from scratch to explain to you. We will write the name of the API, let's say Hello World, and then click on the Create button. This blue one on the bottom. Now we will go to the next step, which will start creating actions. And we'll know that what are the different actions that we can create out of this API that we created. So when you click on actions, the first thing is to create a resource. So I'm just getting the snapshot and then we'll go and create it together. What is the resource? So REST API actually it's a way to get for the resource. And of course, for the design, the resource, there's a lot of debates. It's like resource has to be plural, singular. So right now, I'll just build it singular. I'm trying to explain the method and how to build it. But we will create resource. Resource is the resource where you get the things that you need to get or update or add to it. So in this case, the resource will be a message. We will try to get a message. So let's first create a resource. So click on action and then actions and then create a resource. Put the name of the resource. As I said, let's call it message. And then create resource on the bottom. And after you create the resource, we will need to start add a method into it, which the next step, which we will create a method. And methods, as I said, those are CRUD methods. So there are multiple types of CRUD methods. So here you'll find all of those methods that you can create. Now we'll create get, and get is the simplest one. It just will try to get something from the resource. Let's now select a mock. Mock that mean we will not talk to the Lambda or anything. It's all contained inside the API gateway. When you create a mock, you will get this screen. Don't worry, we'll explain all of that again. But this is the sequence end to end. It starts with the client, which we have a test client. Definitely when you get the API gateway that we'll see at the end, I mean, the URL, you can add it to the React or whatever site you have as the URL that you can fetch. And I have some articles explain how can you build this in just a few minutes. And then when you put it there, it will send the request, which is the GET request, to the mock interface at the end that you can see, and then the response. And because we're only mocking here, so there is nothing to go, it's immediately we can integrate the response. It's a mock response, so we can add the response ourselves, as we will see in the next slide. As you can see here, we just need to click on integrate response. Now, after we click on integrate response, just expand this one, which should return 200. Of course, you can change, we'll learn how to change the other things as well. Mapping template, and then click on application/JSON. We were supposed to add JSON here, but let's add just a text message. If you just edit hello world, it will show in the screen. And those will talk about all of those methods. Let's first double click in this area and start writing hello world or whatever you want to show, and click save. And then after you click save, you need to deploy the API that you created. So let's go and deploy it. You can deploy by clicking the actions again, and then you click deploy API. Let's do that. Deploy API. You will need to select, there is a stage, we'll explain this as well, and you need to put the stage name. You can have multiple stages, so you can deploy multiple ways, but here's the link. This is the one that you will click on. However, when you click on it, it will not work from the first time, because we need to access messages. So you go to the URL and add the word message at the end, and here we go. This is the hello world that we're sending. So what happened here? Actually, what happened here, that we created something called REST API microservice, where we created the API gateway. When you try to access the API gateway, now we don't have the right side. The API gateway is mocking all the right side and responding back with hello world, where you can see it on the screen when you have the browser and you access the messages. So this is called REST API. If you don't understand REST, I'll put a link how to get the RESTful APIs. Simply, it's CRUD, way to get the CRUD messages. CRUD means create, read, update, delete. It's get, post, put, and delete. But that's like another subject. I'm just trying to explain how can you build a microservice. In addition to REST, there is also GraphQL, which AWS, they do it through another serverless service, which is AWS AppSync, which can connect directly to the DynamoDB, where in between they create automatic velocity template resolvers. You can also create Lambda resolvers as well. So thanks for listening to this video, and I hope that it was helpful. If you want to read more articles, you can go to raniel.medium.com or my website rani.tk, or you can visit my profile in LinkedIn, and I have lots of other articles that might be helpful. Thank you again. Please subscribe and like. See you in another article.